Retiring material in stand-up comedy. You know, I've been doing comedy about approximately 10 years. But then again, it's part of who I am. So I've always really been doing it. But writing jokes, I've really been writing jokes for about 10 years. And performing them less than that. And then on stage time is less than that. No different than a fighter. You fight less than 1% compared to the time that you train, that you study, tape, etc., so forth and so on. But anyway, so I've decided to go completely clean for my material. And the reason why is because I've really evolved. I have a joke. I've really evolved from saying dirtier stuff to clean stuff, but it's too much information to really focus or to market or to say, I'm going to sing one album for this song, for this group, and a different album of music for a different group. It's better just to have 1v1, right? Plus, the evolutionary stuff, my newest stuff is all clean, so that works too. Unfortunately, I recently had a show where the audience wanted me to say dirty stuff, and I did older jokes that I knew were very, very funny. But the problem is, not just in today's climate, but in general, a lot of dirty stuff can be more offensive. And even the stuff that's not dirty can be offensive. But I said some things the last two shows, actually, based off of what select people in the crowd wanted, that were offensive to some people. Right? And that wasn't the goal. It wasn't the goal. The goal is not to make people upset, but they're a lot more easily offended for something that's edgy, right? That doesn't mean you're outgoingly being offensive. That just means you're walking to an edge, saying something, and letting people think about it. And some people in that thought, they could be offended. Now, I'm being very vague on purpose. I don't have to say the joke or jokes, because there were many, right? But all of my stuff is the best stuff that I know. I don't have to be dirty to be funny, right? But the weird contrast is, in my opinion, somebody like Jerry Seinfeld, right? A comedian billionaire, legit billionaire and comedian, right? He hasn't ever had jokes that made me laugh, like a belly laugh, like so hard, it's like you're grabbing yourself, like, oh my goodness. Okay, and that's clean comedy, but he's very successful. And I haven't ever not had the funniest jokes ever be dirty. So it's kind of a hard balance to say, do you want to be successful or do you want to be funny, or both? And at this political climate, I have to be successful before I can even dare on doing more edgy material and stuff like that. But again, luckily for me, and I've been working towards that goal, my best stuff really is clean. So it kind of works out, but it is unfortunate because imagine if you had a sword, and every time you took it to battle, it always saved your life, okay? But now all of a sudden people are saying, hey, this sword is illegal. You can't say it. It's not different than certain weapons throughout history. Now, chemical weapons, they were great, and now they're bad. You can't use them because it's an unfair advantage. Well, I like unfair advantages, right? That's why the Navy SEALs go in like rock and sock 'em robots. They got all their gear. They come in at night with their night vision and stuff. It's good to have an unfair advantage, and that's the only way to compete, is to dominate. I don't want anybody to have competition over me. I want to dominate them, always. But anyway, I am digressing a little bit, but under these circumstances, I have very high quality, polished jokes and material that to a percentage of the crowd could be offensive, but they make everybody laugh so hard. Oh, they're such good jokes. Oh, they're such good jokes. They're great. They're amazing, But they're a little controversial, and therein lies the problem. Because until I can become famous, and that's just a means of consistency and hard work and momentum, right? I have to be clean, and I'm okay with that. So it is what it is. I'm not complaining, but again, like a lot of stuff, this is just an observation and an update to all my listeners and stuff. So, do I know dirty stuff? Yes. Am I retiring it for the most part? 99%? Yeah. And am I happy about the next step? Absolutely. Because I'm getting booked more than ever before. And my hardest, best goal is actually to reach those belly laughs with clean comedy. So that's what I'm working on. Anyway, so that's a hard goal, and that's the only kind of goal, in my opinion, to pursue. So with that being mentioned, I hope everybody has a beautiful day. Make your goals high, above, beyond, hard, and those are the best ones to achieve. I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Peace.